Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online VGC 15 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. We're just going to jump into today's episode, currently sitting at a rating of 18-19 as we try to climb higher with Danny Hemchan, also known as Jabberwocky's team. The last 3 episodes with this team have been super fantastic. I honestly recommend all of them. If you haven't seen them, definitely check them out. We find Anam from Japan with a rating of 1790 to kick off today's episode. And as always, if you enjoy Road to Ranked, please share your support by leaving a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Anam here has got quite the interesting team of Blaziken, Gengar, Landers, T, Bisharp, Sylveon, and Rotom Wash. So, 2 potential Megas in Blaziken and Gengar, and I'm honestly not sure which one's the Mega, because both of them certainly could be. If anything, I would guess Blaziken, but I'm not entirely sure. Let's see here. So, it's actually really scary to go up against this kind of team composition. I think Rotom Wash is really good, just because of its ability to knock out Blaziken, Landers, and do Thunderbolt, heavy amounts of damage to everything else my opponent can bring. Question is, who do I want to really bring in this game? Because I can make a case for all 6 Pokemon, honestly. Volk actually makes sense here. Once again, though, Volcarona just hates playing against Landorus, which I feel like my opponent's going to lead with. Landorus makes a lot of sense as a lead for my opponent, so I think I'm going to go Rotom Wash. And part of me really wants Togekiss to set up Tailwind. But I feel like he might go Landorus Bisharp. And if that's the case, I still want Kangaskhan for fake out pressure. Or maybe Blaziken. See, the Blaziken's the reason why I want Togekiss, so I can set up Tailwind. Let's see. I actually feel like Togekiss might not be a bad call, but he's also got Gengar and Bisharp, I guess, which is deterring me from bringing it. So I guess I can go Kang, Rotom, my Landorus in the back, maybe. Beating his Blaziken is actually kind of problematic for me, I think. I actually, Aegislash makes sense, especially with the weakness policy. I think I'm still gonna go with Landorus as my last one. Yeah. So, I've been really comfortable with these 4 Pokemon. I haven't brought Togekiss and Volcarona nearly as much as I guess this team normally does. So that's probably something I'm going to want to improve on as we go into the next couple of days and episodes. But, we are 5-1 with it, and it has worked out so far, so not much reason to deviate, and I do feel most comfortable. And I feel like Pokemon's also a game of comfort. You should go with what you feel like can give you the best chance of winning. But we see the Gengar Blaziken lead here for my opponent, so that's a pretty scary lead right from the start. Let's see. I suspect he'll protect with Gengar protect with Blaziken turn 1. So I do want to fake out Thunderbolt Gengar. In Scrappy form, of course. Though, I actually think he's Mega Gengar here. And because of that, I want to predict it and switch into Landorus. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Let's see. So, I do think Kangaskhan is pretty important in beating whatever my opponent has in the back, and it doesn't fare very well in the position it's in right now. So I do get the Intimidate off against Blaziken, but most Blazikens in VGC like to be mixed. Oh, he is Mega Blaziken. Okay, interesting. So I do confirm which one is the Mega Evolution. Let's see if he went for the Protect on the first turn. Yep. Blaziken does Protect, meaning Gengar did not Protect here. What does Gengar go for? Ooh, the Will-O-Wisp onto Landers, but I avoided, so I dodged a bullet there. I could have just went for the fake out Thunderbolt play, which actually would have just knocked him out right from the start, so making me look a bit silly. He does get the speed boost. Now, I'm not sure if he's mixed, because most mixed Blazikens tend to be the normal form, and this is the first time I really played against the Mega Blaziken in a very long time. So I got pretty fortunate with that miss, but though I am still tempted to go for the Rock side here. I think I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to go for... well, I think I still want a Hydro Pump here, because it punishes anything my opponent can switch into. Yeah, so I'm going to Rock Side Hydro here. I don't think Blaziken can do too much in the position it's in right now. I mean, it could HP Ice, though. He does switch out, which is great. Who is he switching into, though? Gonna be that Landorus, which is exactly why I Hydro Pumped. So I wanted to Thunderbolt, which is obviously the safer play given the accuracy. So far the Will-O-Wisp miss hasn't really mattered much. He does Protect with Gengar, which I'm perfectly fine with since this Landorus should go down if I connect with Hydro Pump. Though I guess I could have HP Ice if I wanted to predict the Landorus, but Hydro Pump was just a safer option in terms of getting damage on whatever came in. So Hydro Pump fortunately does connect with Landorus. I always hold my breath when I use that move, but that should be able to pick up the knockout as it does. So Life Orb, Rotom really coming through here. Since sometimes when you go against bulkier Landoruses, you actually can't pick up the knockout, especially with a calm Rotom with no special attack investment. But Landorus goes down here, and we do take an instant 4-3 lead, and that Blaziken, of course, still pretty... not in the best of positions, mainly because right now he can't get that speed boost immediately. So he brings in the Bisharp, which is actually a pretty big threat. But I can just go for the Thunderbolt Rock Slide play here. And I think that's actually just what I'm going to do. I don't want to risk the miss from Hydro Pump. And I'm guessing he's Life Orbed here as well, which means a combination with the Thunderbolt. I see he doesn't switch high either, so Rock Slide here just knocks out Gengar. A combination of Rock Slide chip damage plus flinch chance plus Thunderbolt doing a lot of damage plus the Life Orb damage means he'll probably knock himself out in one more hit. So I do get the Thunderbolt off here, and oh wow, it actually just picks up the knockout. So don't mess with Rotom, offensive Rotom, because it is really the MVP of this one, picking up 2 knockouts. And then Landorus here was really helpful as well. So ultimately, felt like I ended up bringing the right Pokemon. My opponent brings in the Blaziken now, but it's not going to be able to do very much. So in the end, honestly, the Rock Slide, the Will-O-Wisp miss didn't matter at all, just because I needed Landorus for that pressure to knock out the Gengar. And supporting it with Rotom was really, really good. And you see there I was able to outspeed Bisharp, which is always huge. So I guess I'll go for the Thunderbolt here, just to be safe. But I'm going to switch out just so I get the Intimidate conserved. But my opponent's just going to forfeit, so really, really quick game 1 for you guys today. But, I don't know, there wasn't much my opponent could have done, I guess, given the position he was in. If anything, I think he should have made an aggressive play right from the start with that Blaziken, since, you know, me predicting him to protect was a relatively obvious play. So he could have gone for, I don't know, but... there wasn't much you could have done, I guess, against the Landorus I had in the back, so it worked out in my favor. I think it was just a kind of case of team matchup where I was able to get the lead matchup right from the start and then play using that lead matchup. So we're going to jump back onto the ladder now, currently sitting at a rating of 1834, which is pretty exciting. But yeah, I mean, if anything, I still think Mega Blaziken is definitely a viable one, but it's also an interesting Mega to talk about because it hasn't really had any success in the VGC circuit. Very notable successes, at least, when that's, you know, me referring to US regionals and all the European nationals and Australian nationals. Haven't really seen the Mega Blaziken team do too much work, so it is a really difficult Mega to play with, I think, because of how frail it is, whereas other Megas like Kangaskhan, Metagross, Salamence, Smawile, even Charizard are bulkier. Blaziken really gets knocked out by really common attacks like Hydro Pump from Rotom Wash, Earthquake from Landorus, so it can be incredibly difficult to use, but, you know, that's what you choose to do when you use Mega Blaziken. Also a Mega I've been meaning to use on Rotorang for a while, so maybe my next team will be around it. I remember when I was playing earlier on Rotorang, there were a couple of really good Mega Blaziken teams. I remember some revolved around like Tyranitar, Zapdos, Amoonguss, and those teams gave me a lot of trouble, but we'll see how we fare in this next battle of the day as we look for another opponent. Otherwise, in that last match, you know, I feel like it's a testament to how good Scarflander C can be sometimes, just because it's able to outspeed every Pokemon in the format, basically, other than other Landorus Ts, and occasionally those really fast Pokemon like Weavile. Getting a Scarflander's T out just puts on a lot of pressure because your opponent doesn't know whether you're Earthquaking, Rock Sliding, Superpowering, or even U-turning out back into whatever you have in the back. But we're going to find a 1778 rated opponent from Japan for our next opponent of the day. Opponent here is rocking a rain team of Mawile, Hydreigon, Politoed, Ludicolo, Garchomp, and Thundurus. So, you know, this looks like your standard rain team, but with Garchomp on it. You know, most of the times the rain teams like to have something like maybe Terrakion, a fighting type user, but it's interesting to see the Hydreigon and the Garchomp here. It really reminds me actually of Ray Rizzo's 2012 Worlds team, which had both of those Pokemon. Of course, Garchomp not as popular in this format because of all the Landorus that are running around now. But, you know, Garchomp still can make some sense. Draco Meteor Garchomp is actually something I saw by a player called Alex Rubin, who used it at the regional championships at Madison most recently, where he was able to, you know, bypass the Intimidate and get a Draco Meteor off. So, Draco Meteor with Rock Slide and Earthquake is still definitely something that's really powerful. I feel like my opponent might want to lead with something like Thundurus Mawile, and call me crazy, but I actually think it makes some sense to bring Volcarona in this match. Just because I think it's there's a good chance he actually doesn't go with rain at all, which is weird for me to say, I guess, but I mean, this team obviously is really weak to rain, but Thundurus Mawile is an incredibly threatening lead for my opponent right from the start. Let's see, I want to at least predict the Mawile as a lead. I mean, something like Aegislash. Rotom makes a lot of sense with Kangaskhan in the back. Call me crazy, but I also want to bring Landorus here. I don't know. This is one of the cases where it's really, really matchup dependent. Like, if my opponent decides to lead with the rain, then it's going to be really difficult to play around. If he doesn't lead with rain, then if I don't bring the right Pokemon, I'm also in a bad position. I really want to go with Landorus here. I'm going to bring Landorus in this rain matchup just because he's got Garchomp, he's got Mawile. I need Rock Slide to beat Thundurus. Hydreigon, I can also Superpower, so yeah. This is going to be a difficult matchup, but we'll see how it plays out. And these are the games where in a best of 3 I'd feel a lot more confident in, since I'd get a lot of information, see how my opponent wants to do. And in a best of 3 you like to switch up your strategy a lot of the times, but we'll see. I definitely like this Rain team composition though. Rain's still very popular. You know, Polichua brought it to a 2nd place finish at his regionals, but nope, he's just going to go with Politoed and Ludicolo. So if I let Kangaskhan, Togekiss here, would have been really, really solid. Unfortunately, not the case. As Rain goes up immediately from that Drizzle. So nicely done on my opponent's end in terms of lead matchup. I figured he might not want to go with Rain, but instead he does. So that's going to be hard to play around. Okay, I'm definitely going straight for the Shadow Ball here onto Ludicolo. I'm wondering if he's going to predict my Protect on Rotom. Because if he does, then I can Thunderbolt to maybe even just knock out the Politoed. You know what? I'm going to go for the Thunderbolt here. I think the Protect from Rotom is kind of obvious. So he might double Scald into the Aegislash. Otherwise, you know, he fakes out my Rotom, or he Giga Drains, which should knock it out. But if it's Scarf Toad, that's, I guess, the most problematic thing. So, right now what I want to do is knock him out. If I could get the Thunderbolt and the Shadow Ball off, that would be ideal. Otherwise, I get a Shadow Ball off, maybe put him in Sucker Punch KO range. Protect would have been the safer play, but I don't want to risk a double Scald into the Aegislash right now. That wouldn't knock me out, but it would give so much offensive pressure for my opponent right from the beginning of the game. He'd also be able to Giga Drain right away. He actually switches out Politoed. Maybe Garchomp's going to come in here. Nope, it's going to be Hydreigon, but also a very good play on my opponent's end. As we see the Giga Drain go straight onto Rotom, so making me look a bit silly there. Hanging on with 10 HP, but unfortunately Thunderbolt here is actually going to make myself get knocked out from the Life Orb recoil. And I'll get a Shadow Ball off, which is nice, and I also do get the Kangaskhan in for free. But, at what cost, really? Because I did lose Rotom Wash, which was one of my better answers to his Politoed. So given this, there's no doubt in my mind that Mawile is his last Pokemon, and that's obviously not good. That's definitely Assault Vest Ludicolo, given how much damage that Shadow Ball did. So I'll bring in Kangaskhan here. Now the question is, do I want to predict him not Dark Posting Aegislash, and just Flash Cannon the Hydreigon? I really want to do that. Yeah. I'll fake out Ludi and Flash Cannon. I'm already playing from behind. You'll see that the games with this team are really, really fast paced, because this is such a aggro offensive team, which is a bit different from the teams I've used in the past, but it is fun to use a team like this. I also think it's a very well constructed team. So I'm going to play a bit more offensively, Flash Cannon the Hydreigon, because I'm already playing from behind. If I do manage to get that off, it would be really, really good. He might also switch into Mawile here, which would make a lot of sense, I think, especially if Ludicolo switches out into Mawile. So maybe I could have went for a attack onto Hydreigon here instead, but I guess we'll find out. But nope, he actually withdraws the Hydreigon, which I'm a bit happy to see. It's actually going to switch into Mawile, which is perfect for me since I get a Flash Cannon into that slot. So, you know, hey, if anything, this is kind of what I need to get back into this game. So, he's going to get the double Intimidate off here, unfortunately, but at least I'm going to get free damage off with the Fake Out and the Flash Cannon, which is actually as ideal as possible, so I couldn't have asked for a better turn. I figured he might have wanted to switch out, but I didn't think he'd switch out the Hydreigon, just because Hydreigon was in a pretty decent position as it was, but hey, I'll take that. Fake Out doesn't do as much damage as I would have really liked it to, though, unfortunately. I'm going to be able, however, to get this Flash Cannon off against this little baby Mawile, which should do around 60%. Nope, even more. Actually almost knocks it out, which I was not anticipating, but hey, that's great. Okay, so that definitely puts us in a good position. Now the main issue is I kind of want to actually... No, I don't want to sack the Landorus, because I think Landorus is important, but Kangaskhan is so good in this matchup right now. Oh, this is difficult. I mean, I could King Shield and double edge the Ludicolo, but I really want a King Shield here. I don't want to risk getting knocked out since Aegislash is so important in this matchup. I guess I could switch into Landorus. Yeah, Kangaskhan's just so good in this matchup. You know what? I'm gonna go for the double edge onto Ludi. Ludi is the biggest threat. Once Ludi goes down, my Landorus can do a good amount of work against all my opponent's team. So that was a really good flash cannon, though. I really needed that to at least stay in the game. But I'm gonna play it safe. I don't like playing safe normally with Aegislash, but this is one of the cases where if I lose it, it would just be too much to bear with. So I'm gonna King Shield here. Let's see if he Sucker Punches me. He does Sucker Punch. Yeah, perfect. Scald coming out here, targeting Kangaskhan. Okay, so that works out in my favor. Hopefully no burn here. He doesn't knock me out. Gets a crit. No burn, though. That crit is really, it really hurts me a lot, though, since I think I might knock myself out from recoil here. If that's the case, that'll be a bit frustrating, but let's see. As I hang on with 3 HP, which is pretty clutch. But now he brings in Hydreigon, I guess. But if anything, I mean, at least I managed to get out of that turn with as much mileage as possible. Don't lose the Aegislash and knock out the Ludicolo, so that's good. Especially for how bad things looked in the beginning. Still definitely got a pretty solid chance at winning this one, though if he didn't get that crit, Kangaskhan would be healthier. Though not the healthiest. So he's going to bring in the Hydreigon here, and I think my play here is pretty clear. I'm just going to Flash Cannon the Hydreigon and Sucker Punch the Mawile. By Sucker Punching Mawile, it ensures that he doesn't get to Sucker Punch me, and this works out perfectly. It should knock it out here, you know, given how low its HP is. So I do pick up the knockout onto Mawile, and this Kangaskhan picking up 2 knockouts in this game so far. Really great job. Hydreigon here is going to go for the Dark Pulse. Should he target the Aegislash, that's going to activate Weakness Policy. Yep. So he walked right into that one. That activates Weakness Policy, so I'm going to be able to knock out Hydreigon here with Flash Cannon, and it's now a 3-on-1, which is really good for me. Though I'm really wondering what item his Politoed has, since that's not confirmed yet. So that's probably what's going to make or break this game. But Flash Cannon here, able to knock out the Hydreigon in one hit, which is great. So this is really coming down to the wire. Politoed's going to come back in, but I don't know what item he has. Of course, I've still got that Scarf Landorus T waiting in the back, though. Let's see. I mean, he needs Surf here if he wants a chance at winning, I guess. But if he locks himself into the Surf, then I win. This is actually... I gotta think hard about this one. Because if I choose to attack with both and he Surfs, then he wins, I think. If he's not Scarf, though... I mean, I guess I could King Shield. Sucker Punch. Or Double Edge. Yeah, I'll Double Edge here, because if he's not Scarfed, then I win the game with Landorus in the back. If he is Scarfed, he has to Scald Kangaskhan here, and if that's the case... I don't know. I don't know about that play. That might have actually been a game-losing play. Oh, no, he's not Scarfed. Okay. So I took a gamble there, and it pays off, fortunately. Maybe Citrus Berry? Yeah. Okay, so that's alright. I'm gonna faint from the recoil, obviously. But let's see what Politoed goes for. Maybe a Perish Song. That'd be interesting, though I'm slower. Nope, he does have the Surf. Wow, interesting. Rain stops. That's really good news for me. Okay, so that actually played out perfectly. I wasn't anticipating that. It is not every day you see Surf with Citrus Berry. Surf normally you see on, like, those, Choice Scarf variants, just because they don't have another move, but hey, I'm not gonna complain. So I'm gonna Wide Guard here, and... Oh, I should actually think very... Let's see. So if he Surfs, he won't knock out Landorus, and I think I can 2-hit KO him with Superpower. See, the main thing here is I don't want to Wide Guard and then have him Ice Beam, because then he wins. So I'm gonna attack, forcing him to Surf. And I'll Superpower, yeah. Alright, let's see how this plays out. This is really coming down to the wire. Okay, another Superpower should knock out, which is good. So let's see what he goes for. Nope, he goes for another Surf, which is, I'm perfectly fine with. Oh! No freaking way. He gets the crit onto Landorus, but Landorus hangs out with 1 HP. Oh my goodness. That is hype. That is so hype. Oh my gosh. Superpower knocks out Politoed, and we win the second game by 1 HP. Holy cow, holy cow, holy cow, holy cow. I saw the Landorus' HP go down, and I was like, no way, it can't knock me out. And then I saw the crit. He actually got a double crit. Obviously, it didn't matter on Aegislash, but, wow, 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 wow. That is one crazy way to finish the game. And, hey, we managed to win a very, very close game there. My opponent played fantastically well there. I don't even know what to say there. Politoed Ludicolo was so scary to go up against. If anything, just getting that Flash Cannon off against the Mawile was the game-defining play. If he stayed in with Hydreigon, I think I would very well might have lost that game. But had to make a big play there to get back into it, and it ended up working out. So, what a crazy, crazy game. Well played by my opponent there, but we're going to be able to notch up 2 more wins with the team in today's episode. So, yeah. Wow, that was crazy. 1 HP, I was not anticipating that. I mean, I would have been pretty salty if he crit me for the win, but that spread damage really pulling through for me in the end. I end up managing to win. So yeah, crazy game all around, and that's going to be it for this one, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Alright, peace.